Chattanooga, Tennessee. Nestled at the transition between the ridge and valley portion of the Appalachian Mountains and the Cumberland Plateau, lays this idyllic city, internationally known for the 1941 gold record song, Chattanooga Choo Choo. Downtown, you can find the Chattanooga Choo Choo Hotel, housed in the renovated terminal station, displaying the largest HO model train layout in the United States. Chattanooga is home to many attractions, including the Tennessee Aquarium, caverns, and waterfront attractions along and across the Tennessee River. Chattanooga is also home to Karen Walsh and the McKamey Animal Center.
The McKamey Animal Center came about because of a serious pet overpopulation problem in Chattanooga. The existing shelter was over 100 years old, and it was dealing with a pet overpopulation problem of 12 to 15,000 animals a year, so they were overwhelmed.
In the summer of 2008, the McKamey Animal Center opened its 26,087 square foot facility to the public. And this is not your average everyday animal center. It's not just stray and relinquished cats and dogs that come through the doors.
We deal with guinea pigs and hamsters and rabbits and goats, and we've even had pot-bellied pigs come through here, and one marmoset as well.
This goat was picked up on the streets of Chattanooga and brought here. He's missing one of his horns and seems to be in a lot of pain. He needs help, and that's what the folks here at McKamey do.
Even though goats are not animals that are allowed to live in the city, there are underground goats out there, and occasionally they escape, and unfortunately for this one, he's injured.
He's getting treated for his head injury and then neutered. After some rest and recovery time, he'll be ready for a new home. Keeping animals at home rather than in a shelter is high on the McKamey priority list.
We provide lots of services to the public. We only do spay-neuter for the public with grant money. So we do a bully blockade, which is for pit bulls and pit bull mixes in our community. We also do trap-neuter return programs. We do rabies vaccinations for the public. We do microchipping for the public.
Coming up, it's hard to say goodbye forever to an old friend. But it doesn't have to be that way. Plus, McKamey is getting a makeover for its staff when we come back. Welcome back to Designing Spaces presents Life at the McKamey Animal Center. Best friend, companion through thick and thin. Pets become part of the family, but sometimes, just like their human counterparts, pets can become victims to unexpected accidents or illnesses. But sometimes, the cost of veterinary care can be more than pet owners can afford.
One of the biggest problems we have at the McKamey Center is people having to relinquish pets because they just can't afford the care that they need if something happens to them.
These dogs and cats are often surrendered to shelters. This is Danielle and her best friend, Decatur. Today is going to be a day Danielle will not forget.
I have a dog, Decatur, that's a Rottweiler mix I've had for about a year, and he escaped out of my yard, and when he came back, he had an injured paw and it was limping.
Not being able to handle the financial costs, Danielle has no other choice but to relinquish Decatur.
I was hoping that if I brought him here today, they would possibly be able to help in this situation because I really don't have any other options.
Unfortunately, Danielle's tragic case is not uncommon. This is Dr. Carrie Marshall, Chief Veterinary Officer at Trupanion, a leading provider of pet insurance.
Pets give us so much love. They change our lives for the better. So our promise when we adopt a pet into our lives is to give them the same love that they're giving us back.
For Dr. Marshall, it's important to have a plan for unexpected events.
I've been a veterinarian for 25 years, and I've seen many cases where pets had to be surrendered to a shelter because the family could not afford the care.
This is where pet insurance comes in. It allows to change the conversation from how much can I afford to spend on care to what is the best care option for my pet.
Unfortunately for Danielle, she didn't have Trupanion insurance. If she had, she wouldn't have had to go through the emotional distress for her and for Decatur of relinquishing him to the center.
Now more than ever, pets are a valuable member of the family, and pet insurance is a must-have as opposed to a nice-to-have.
And with a company like Trupanion that pays 90% of the veterinary bill and there's no limits, you just don't have to think about give a second thought to going into your veterinarian and making sure that you get the care, and it's the best care.
Meanwhile, Decatur's x-rays have come in, and Karen meets with one of McKamey's veterinarians, Dr. Jerry Lathan, to discuss what the next step should be.
I don't see any fractures at all. The radial bone, the ulnar bone, the humerus looks good. Usually we have a lot of air, we call crepitation of the skin. We don't see any swelling, so I think it's a radial paralysis.
Amputation being the only option, Dr. Lathan gets to work. The operation is a success, and Decatur has been transformed into a tripod. A few days to recover, and he'll be ready for adoption. Now Decatur has a pre-existing condition and cannot be insured for anything related to that injury. But that doesn't mean insurance is less important. Decatur is still young, and lots can happen along the way.
Pets can get so many different conditions. In fact, 25% of our policyholders at Trupanion, they file a claim within 6 months.
Danielle may be heartbroken, but the good news is Decatur is going to be just fine, and thanks to Trupanion and McKamey, his next owner will have the option to keep the insurance after 30 days so that the owner and dog can enjoy each other's company worry-free. Some pet insurers cover what's called wellness, like vaccinations and physical exams, not Trupanion.
Think of it this way. If you pay the insurance company $1 and then you go get preventive care, they reimburse you 80% of that. You're not getting full value. Take your dollar and give it to the veterinarian and get the best care for your pet.
That way, Trupanion can pay 90% of the veterinarian bill for accidents and unexpected illnesses.
When you adopt from McKamey, we add the Trupanion insurance packet when you go, and it gives you 30 days worth of coverage. During that time, Trupanion contacts you and they make you aware of all of the benefits of having pet insurance. And that gives you peace of mind when you go home so that the pet that you have, if it gets injured, you would be able to afford to care for it.
Adopters like Chris and Lauren can certainly appreciate this offer. Having lost a dog before, they know what it feels like to go through those tough times.
So I got a dog and we named him Bear. He got sick unexpectedly. His back legs gave out. So he was taking 27 pills a day and extensive home care and hospitalization, and we did everything we could and he just didn't. Bear passed on, yeah, he passed away really recently actually, and that's why we decided to come back and adopt today.
So there's many ways to find out about us, but Trupanion.com is the quickest and easiest, and we're available by phone as well. The number's right there on the web.
One thing that makes the McKamey Animal Center stand out are its staff, who are friendly and passionate about their work. This is the office area, where staff members spend most of their time. The staff deals with a lot of stress on a daily basis, so why not change the space to something more friendly?
When people see the center, it's amazing. It's a beautiful place. We're very grateful for the gift that we've been given in this building. Some of the sponsors that have come on to change things for us, one of them is Snapfish. When you see our administration room, it's done in very bold colors.
These photo canvases from Snapfish by HP are professionally printed on conservation-grade canvas and include a satin finish. These are a great way to brighten up a room and showcase beautiful pictures of your pets. But first, this room needs to be repainted.
Snapfish came forward and is doing a beautiful photo wall for us that are animals that we've helped and people that have volunteered here. And so every day when we're in there working or when we bring people in to learn about McKamey, they're going to see it all over that wall, who we are and why we're here.
Coming up, this is Jeep. What's so special about him? Well, for starters, he's still alive. Welcome back to Pet Spaces. Today, we're at McKamey Animal Center in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Though illegal in most states, ads offering dogs on online selling sites is not uncommon. And Jeep was one of them. Neglected and starved, he was brought in to McKamey.
Whenever we get an animal that's in the shape that Jeep was in, we have to make a decision about whether we have the resources and capability to help them recover and become an adoptable pet. Jeep was in such incredibly poor condition that he was actually walking on his carpus, which would be our wrists. He was probably just a couple days away from passing away.
Here at the McKamey Animal Center, having the right diagnostic tools is essential to performing regular pet checkups, especially when so many animals come into the shelter with an unknown health history.
My name is Casey Etter. The primary role that I have is to help with pet owner education.
Today, Jeep is getting some tests done to find out exactly what is going on with him and how he needs to be treated.
What's really great is we were able to bring in our diagnostic tests, so our chemistry machine, our CBC machine, and some of our infectious disease tests, and run blood work on Jeep to make sure that he's in a good state.
She has brought a system that will give McKamey the opportunity to increase their care value and potentially save many lives in the future. One of the benefits to this equipment is its turnaround time.
So right now we're testing Jeep for 4 different diseases on this test. We're looking for heartworm disease, which is carried by mosquitoes, and 3 tick-borne diseases, Lyme, Ehrlichia, and Anaplasma. And essentially what we do is we pour blood on the test, we snap the test down, and then we look to see whether or not Jeep's blood reacts with the chemicals in the test.
The 8 minutes are up, and his test results are in.
And I have great news. Jeep is disease-free. This dot tells us he is free of all those diseases we just talked about.
This lightning-fast turnaround time has many benefits to the pet. Without the right diagnostic, help could be coming too late for patients like Jeep. Because of IDEXX, Jeep avoided almost certain death.
Hey Casey, Jeep and I have come to see how the blood work went.
I have good news. We got his
Great.
blood work results in. And his SNAP4DX test, which looked at heartworm and all the tick diseases we talked about, negative. I know, I'm very happy for him. And the good news is it looks like his lab work is status quo. It looks like he's on the mend, so things look good.
I think the best news is that Jeep is doing better. So that shows that what we have done for him is actually helped him.
I know it takes a while, but
I know,
been
he's got a long
improving
recovery,
slowly.
yep. But I'm excited for him. It looks like he's really doing good.
That's wonderful. You guys have made such a difference for him.
One of the great fears in sheltering is when you start trying to help somebody and you're not necessarily knowing what's going on with them. It's a shot in the dark to try to save them. But in Jeep's case, what Casey said was that he's doing so much better, which means that we made the right decision.
Another area IDEXX is very active is in pet owner education.
Anyone that's thinking about a dog or a cat should really first think about their lifestyle, but not just their lifestyle today, also where's their lifestyle going to be in 15 years. I would say if I were going to give any advice to a pet owner is to listen to their veterinarian. Their veterinarian is really the person they want to talk to when they have questions about their pet, they're worried about their pet, or just their pet's health in general. You can visit www.pethealthnetwork.com.
Coming up, McKamey is getting an upgrade on their visitation rooms, but things are not going exactly as planned. Plus, a stray golden retriever is brought in with the suspicion of heartworm disease. Stay tuned. This is Pet Spaces, and this is the McKamey Animal Center. We're all about finding solutions for pet owners. Here at the McKamey Animal Center, potential adopters have the chance to get to know their pets to be in so-called real-life rooms.
We have 4 real-life rooms that are designed to showcase animals that might be great pets in your home. Dogs that are already housebroken, that have a place to stay in that's very light and bright.
But over the years, the rooms have taken a beating, and it's time for an upgrade.
We only tiled the walls halfway up, and the rest of the wall is drywall. So over the 4 years that we've been using those rooms, the drywall has been eaten by some mischievous dogs or is just started to disintegrate with all the cleaning that we do.
So with the help of Tim Mallow from Dakota Tile and material from Crossville Tile, the mission is on. It doesn't take long for the first issues to arise.
We just started tearing up the floor, and for some reason along this outer wall, we've got standing water.
Tim is pulling the tiles up off the floor, and already there's a bunch of water underneath there, and we're really not sure where it's coming from. Water is a great place to breed bacteria, diseases, viruses can be living under there. It's really quite frightening in a shelter to have something like standing water.
All the times you guys rinse and disinfect the room, the water's been running behind the tile and going under this way.
It's wonderful that this is happening right now because it would be a terrible thing for animals to be getting sick and us to not know why, and there to be all this water we don't know about under the tile. It's water that's coming from the walls. It'll only go so far, right?
That's what we're gonna find out.
Stay tuned.
And if it's wet over there, then we got other problems.
Okay.
McKamey has an entire cross-section of health issues they must stay on top of. So people are adopting healthy animals. Nobody likes to see them come back. And all too often, dogs that are taken in have a serious problem, one that could eventually kill them, and that is heartworm.
Today we're visiting with Dr. Little from McKamey Limited, and he has brought some HeartGuard Plus, and we're talking about heartworm disease today and how it affects our shelter population and dogs in general.
Today, Animal Control Officer Keith Morgan is bringing in a golden retriever found in the streets. One of the first things animals are checked for here at McKamey is heartworm.
Looks on. Did you check her for a chip? Okay, we need to get on that when we get her inside.
So today we've had a dog come in on the truck, and we're going to check and see how that dog's doing and whether it does have heartworm disease.
The good news is, heartworm is very preventable. It can take up to 6 months to when heartworm disease can be detected. The golden retriever, however, is unfortunately diagnosed positive right away.
It's a devastating disease carried by mosquitoes, and if you ask yourself, when's the last time you were bitten by a mosquito? It's probably yesterday, or when's the last time you saw a mosquito? Mosquitoes carry heartworm disease. The mosquito really is the alpha and the omega as far as heartworm disease, the beginning and the end.
Heartworms are literally a clot of worms living on the right side of the heart. This is extremely uncomfortable for the infected animal.
Heartworm disease is very preventable. It's a devastating disease that we recommend we prevent rather than try to treat. When we think about puppies and heartworm disease, it's critical on the first puppy visit is to start puppies early. Pay attention to the weight of the puppy. As it grows, they may need to adjust their heartworm preventative accordingly.
So the solution, the once-a-month treatment, I know that one of your products is the HeartGuard that does that. Can you tell me a little bit more about HeartGuard?
Sure. HeartGuard Plus is a product that not only prevents heartworm disease, but it also controls and treats 2 internal parasites, hookworms and roundworms. It's a monthly preventative. It's a treat. Dogs love it, and it's well worth on a monthly basis to give a product like HeartGuard, HeartGuard Plus. So we recommend testing for heartworms every single year. One of the most common signs for heartworm disease would be coughing, fatigue, lethargy. The dog's just not doing well, but really most dogs that are positive for heartworms have no signs or symptoms at all. We have several websites with McKamey Limited. It's McKamey.com, and from there you can go to other websites, heartguard.com, to investigate and learn more about heartworm disease in both dogs and cats.
All dogs should be tested for heartworm infection before starting a preventative program. HeartGuard Plus is well tolerated. In rare cases, digestive and neurological side effects have been reported. For more information, contact your vet. Fortunately, this golden retriever is in good hands here and will be just fine like Decatur and Jeep, thanks to all the wonderful people at McKamey Animal Center. next week on Designing Spaces. Lapeep and Foxy, 2 dogs with major anxiety issues. Can they be helped? Plus, tracking diabetes in your pet, how to control your pet's unwanted house soiling. Go to designingspaces.tv, where you can see the show again. Be a friend on Facebook at facebook.com/DSpacesTV and join in the conversation.